Awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first OnePlan Academy hosted Tech Tuesday, getting started with OnePlan's portfolio plan module. Tech Tuesdays is a new webinar series presented by us, the OnePlan Academy team, to provide you with short, focused sessions on OnePlan best practices, tips and tricks, as well as being able to explore all aspects of OnePlan throughout this series. And today we're going to start off with the portfolio module. My name, next slide. Here's who I am. My name's Deb Roth, and I'm the OnePlan Education and Training Manager. And I'm here with Tina Shirk, OnePlan Academy instructor and technical documentation lead. We need to just kind of first run through a couple of housekeeping things before we get started with today's session. The ways for you to participate, we encourage you to participate in the session today by posting in the chat, responding to survey polls that we present, and entering questions into the Q&A panel. We're going to be monitoring these channels, and we're going to do our best to respond to your comments in a timely fashion. We know it goes without saying, but please post respectfully and responsibly, because we want to make sure that we provide you with inclusive and informative sessions. Again, if we don't get to your questions today, we will follow up with you outside of here. So please feel free to continue to send the questions. For those of you that have a PMI certification, we're excited to announce that you might be eligible for earning up to 1 PMI PDU for this webinar, depending on your certification. So please search for OnePlan Solutions PDUs via the PMI.org catalog courses that you see in the link here. So let's talk about what we're going to talk through with you today. OnePlan is a comprehensive platform, and it's tailored to cater to your strategic portfolio, resource, financials, and work management needs. By the end of today's webinar, you're going to learn what the OnePlan portfolio plan is and how to use it to understand how it supports an organization's project portfolio management strategy and initiatives, as well as how it aligns with the Project Management Institute standard for project portfolio management. But there's more. We're also going to show you how to use OnePlan, the OnePlan portfolio plan module, to create and organize portfolios using element-neutral approaches and work hierarchies, how you can track progress and key milestones with the Portfolio Gantt, how to employ boards for a more visual, collaborative project portfolio management experience. And then finally, we're going to talk through how you can use the portfolio plan to develop clear and impactful roadmaps, portfolio roadmaps, how you can utilize reporting and business intelligence tools for data-driven insights. And then finally, we're going to spend a little bit of time demonstrating how you can harness the power of AI with OnePlan Sofia GPT virtual assistant to assist you as you go through the process of your portfolio planning. So why is this important? Project portfolio management plays a crucial role in helping organizations like yours achieve your strategic objectives by aligning projects with goals, optimizing resources, managing risks, and monitoring financials. PPM helps you promote visibility, communication, and performance measurement so that you can ensure that there's benefits realization and continuous improvement. Through the PPM's structured decision-making process and balanced the project diversification, you can maximize your investments and adapt to the continuously changing conditions in your business environment. Overall, PPM helps foster a culture that's focused on maximizing the value of your investments in the projects and programs that are selected. It fosters a culture of continuous improvement, and we'll show you how it will enhance your ability to achieve your strategic objectives. I'm going to turn it over to you, Tina.
Yeah, thanks, Deb. So just to make sure that we get to know you guys a little bit better and to help us frame this today's session to best meet your guys' needs, we're going to launch just one quick poll question. So this is going to pop up on your screen and prompt you guys to respond to the following question. On a scale of 1 to 5, how familiar are you with the OnePlan portfolio module? So I went ahead and I may have messed that up. Hold on. It might not let me launch it again. Lovely. Okay, let's go with the other question. How familiar are you with portfolio management then? Since I messed up that poll, this will be kind of similar in a similar vein. So we'll give you all a few seconds here to put in any responses, and then we will take a look at the results together. All right, it looks like voting has stopped, so I'm going to go ahead and close the poll, and let's take a look at these results together. So we can see that a good majority of us are sort of in that beginner, intermediate, or even novice level. We have a few experts in here, which is awesome. So hopefully our session today will help anyone from that beginner phase, getting familiar with portfolio management as a general concept, and then taking it further to using OnePlan to help foster that portfolio management in your organization and help you kind of get the best out of your portfolios and strategize and all that good stuff. Deb, is there anything else you want to add?
No, we will also, as we mentioned before, and then I'm going to add something. Feel free to put your questions in the chat as well, so that we can continue. We can either slow down or continue to keep moving forward based on your feedback in the audience.
Awesome. All right. So go ahead and hide that, and we'll go back to the slides. So we do have a couple of, for our beginners or novices beginners, we do have a couple of things that we want to go over in terms of just general definitions to help us frame today's session before we really dive into the tool itself. So the first thing we want to address is, what is a portfolio? And Deb and I, as training professionals in this industry, we really are big fans of the Project Management Institute. So we're going to be using their definitions here. So the Project Management Institute, or PMI, as many of you might be more familiar with, defines a portfolio as a collection of projects, programs, subsidiary portfolios, and operations managed as a group to achieve strategic objectives. So kind of the next step then, we have a portfolio, right? It's this whole big list of all of the work that's going on inside of your organization. But then the next question is, how do you manage that portfolio? So what is portfolio management? Again, the PMI defines portfolio management portfolio management is the centralized management of one or more portfolios to achieve strategic objectives. This involves identifying, categorizing, excuse me, let me go to the next slide. There we go. This portfolio management aligns organizational strategy with resource investment, dynamically managing portfolio components to achieve strategic objectives. This involves identifying, categorizing, monitoring, evaluating, integrating, selecting, prioritizing, optimizing, balancing, authorizing, transitioning, controlling, and then terminating portfolio elements that are not aligned with your organization's goals. So to keep up with these changes and all of this that you need to consider when managing a portfolio, those managing portfolios need tools to consolidate and centralize your initiatives and dynamically review current data and trends to balance and rebalance your priorities regularly. So this is where OnePlan comes into play. And with that, we are going to transition into our demonstration for today. So pardon me as I switch screens here, and I'm going to hand this back over to Deb to talk about our first little section here.
Thanks, Tina. So what I'm going to talk through with you a little bit right now is how to create and organize portfolios using element neutral approaches and work hierarchies, and give you a quick introduction to the OnePlan My Portfolio area. Right now you can see that we're logged into our OnePlan group. It's called Tech Tuesdays, and it's located in the upper right-hand corner of the header. And then we've selected the My Portfolio area from along the main menu navigation. For those of you who are familiar with OnePlan, you know that that's the main menu navigation. For those of you that are new, this is going to be where you continually come back to find different areas inside of OnePlan. The example, though, we're focusing in on is My Portfolio, and it showcases a conventional approach to programs, portfolio programs, projects, and epics as far as a hierarchy. We'll keep reminding you about this. OnePlan is highly configurable. So this versatility means that you can mold it to fit your corporate organizational structures, like maybe you've got new product development as a portfolio, or scaled agile, or others. So that way you're able to track and identify and capture what you need to capture as far as how your organization creates, manages, prioritizes, and tracks portfolio performance across the organization. So My Portfolio consolidates this and centralizes everything across the organization. In addition, just some terminology. Tina's expanded everything, and you can now see all the work across the organization, these programs, the projects, the epics. Each one of these, the portfolio, project, program, epic, in OnePlan terminology is called a plan type. So you can see in the drop-down menu, you can see how this hierarchy is constructed. And I'll keep reminding you, this is configurable to meet the needs of your organization, as well as this plan type hierarchy. In this hierarchy, you can see that there is a parent to child lookup relationship between the plans. That means that the project and the epics roll up to a program, and underneath those programs, then those programs roll up to that portfolio. So this is great for that tree grid visibility and the data roll up. But you don't have to do it this way. You can also do it as a flat hierarchy where the plan types aren't related to each other, but these are things that you would formulate as you're looking at how you want to model your business portfolio within OnePlan. Because OnePlan plan types and the OnePlan portfolio structure, it's completely configurable. It encourages what we call an element neutral approach to portfolio creation. There is an article called Strategic Portfolio Management 2.0, Steps Toward an AI-Powered Transformation in Forbes. The author is Peter Kestenholz, and he describes this element neutral portfolio creation as the ability to create multiple portfolios and sub-portfolios, as you can see here, in a structured way without necessarily predefining the specific elements yet. So it helps you set up a flexibility is the key to that framework, and that also lets you adapt to different types of projects, teams, and strategic changes. This you can see how my portfolio is configured here. So what this means to you is if you're new to strategic portfolio management or project portfolio management, the terminology can be a bit daunting. So for example, what's the difference between SPM and PPM? Or what is an element neutral approach to portfolio creation? Here's where you can start actually enlisting the help of your OnePlan virtual AI assistant, Sofia GPT. Notice the icon on the lower right-hand corner of the My Portfolio page. When we hover the mouse over the icon, you see a tooltip that says Ask Sofia. So let's just ask Sofia, what is an element neutral approach to PPM? And this virtual chat GPT, as virtual assistant, is going out to find out what this information is. So I can learn what this term means on a deeper level, how it applies to what I'm doing while I stay in my portfolio, and I can get answers to the questions that are context specific. I don't have to navigate away from where I'm at or what I'm doing right now in my portfolio. So this can help me continue to grow and learn. Maybe I'm at a different level in the portfolio management zone here. And we can also take a look at what the difference is between strategic portfolio management and project portfolio management. So once again, that question can be asked, and then we'll see if this comes back, how quickly it comes back, because we have a lot to cover. But this can help me identify those terms so that I can continue to learn and I can apply it to what I'm seeing inside of my portfolio. Now, earlier we said that PMI guidelines shared the best practice that portfolios need to be reviewed on a regular basis to ensure that the initiatives still meet the needs of the business. So when these changes are occurring in the portfolio, it's taking a little while to come back. There you go. When these changes occur in the portfolio, those of you who are managing the portfolios need these tools to help you dynamically review current data and trends to balance and rebalance the priorities regularly. So let's just see how OnePlan supports this recommendation. The OnePlan portfolio hierarchy may vary depending on the specific needs and the goals of your organization, but typically it includes at least 3 levels: strategic, tactical, and operational. At the strategic level of that, and that's the highest level of the hierarchy, that is the portfolio in OnePlan. It includes the projects that are aligned with an organization's overall strategy and vision. Typically, these projects are long-term and significantly impact the organization. Here's how the portfolio roll-up looks in OnePlan. So what Tina did was she showed the default plan type is portfolio. And then she's collapsed these plans across the organization to show you all the different portfolios that are part of this organization's portfolio, overarching portfolio. Now, she can go ahead and select the quick edit portfolio. And you can take a look at the data analytics transformation. So here's all of the information that rolls up to everything about what this portfolio means, the schedule, the financials, the overall health, and you can capture all of the relevant information that is required to be able to understand what this portfolio is about. Now, let's just say now I want to see how the project and epic plan types map to the overall strategic alignment. So I expand here, you can expand, and you can start to see how all of the programs, projects, and epics roll up under this particular portfolio. Now let's just say I'm going to select the project and the epics because I want to understand how do these projects and epics fit into the organization's strategic alignment. So I can group by strategic alignment. The plans that are going to display have been identified as strategic, with strategic alignment equaling extreme, strong, moderate, and low. Now, notice how these selected plan types are categorized and grouped. Strategic alignment is also a configurable field that lets you use the strength of lets you see the strength of the strategic alignment based on your organization strategy criteria and associated categories. Now, let's select the Microsoft Teams integration and messaging project under the quick edit. And what we want to show you is we can take a look at the project prioritization if we scroll down. And you can see this is how the strategic alignment equaled extreme. It was categorized as part of the project plan in those plan details. Now, because we say that we have to be able to respond and to dynamic needs of the business, let's just say that some dynamic changes in the organization determined through its evaluation that this portfolio strategic alignment category for this particular project needs to change from extreme to moderate. In the plan details, we change this to moderate. When we refresh the view, we'll have to probably take another look at grouping by again to make sure we can go back and group by strategic alignment. And you'll see that this Microsoft Project Teams messaging is now in the moderate category. And so this is just one example of how OnePlan My Portfolio applies the PMI portfolio management principles to align your organization's portfolio to the organizational strategy and to be able to change as the environment changes. At the tactical level in the middle of the hierarchy, you can see that it includes the projects and the epics that are designed to support the organization's strategic objectives. So these projects are typically the medium-term projects. They're more focused and they have that impact on specific areas of the organization. Now, again, you can see how OnePlan aligns with these PMI guidelines because my portfolio supports the ability for these portfolios to be dynamic by identifying, categorizing, monitoring, and all of those other words that were described earlier in the definition of what needs to happen to be able to monitor when and these, to make sure that these are still aligning with your organization's strategic direction and goals of the organization. So you can see how the project epics and projects and epics are expanded. And as each of these plans are updated and managed by the individual PMs that are leading these initiatives in the projects and the epics, then these changes will be dynamically changed inside of these projects. You can also see how these can get dynamically updated in the portfolio as well. For example, in the portfolio, you can take a look at maybe the schedule health can be shifted for the data warehouse migration from on track to maybe it's at risk. So there are some dynamic changes that can be made inside of this portfolio as well to keep all of the leadership and the people that need to oversee this aware and apprised of what's going on. On the operational level, this is the lowest level of the hierarchy, including projects that are going to be focused in your organization on your organization's operations and maintenance. They're typically short-term in nature. They have a narrower impact on the organization. So if we can set a filter here to business unit equals operations. So this is one of the organizations that's been configured inside of this hierarchy, and the portfolio equals operational excellence. So this is how my portfolio supports all of these different context-specific definitions that PMI puts forward. Now what I'm going to do is turn this back over to Tina to help you understand how you can use the portfolio to track progress and key milestones with the Portfolio Gantt.
All right, thanks, Deb. So, like Deb said, we're going to be transitioning more to the Gantt view, so which is a much more visual representation of your portfolio. So managing multiple projects within a portfolio can be pretty daunting. I mean, look at this list of projects. It's huge, right? And trying to manage all of this data is a daunting task. So with the Portfolio Gantt view, which I'm going to go ahead and open here, you can see in the top bar, there's the Gantt button. You can have a much more visual view of what's going on inside of your portfolio. So you can visualize progress and the interdependencies of your portfolio. I'm going to go ahead and expand this. So to do that, you'll hover over this middle line here, and you'll see I have the little crosshairs, and I'm just going to scoot this out over here so we can see a little bit better. Let me just get this all arranged. All right, cool. So the Portfolio Gantt view includes a few elements that I would like to point out to you. First, we have a timeline. So you'll see here at the top, the Gantt view is going to give you this really nice time phase view of your portfolio. So you can see how your work is stacking up over the year. You can also change the time frames of this timeline, which I'll show you real quick. So right now you can see we have a whole kind of bird's eye view of our portfolio for the year of 2024 and a little bit into 2025. But I can use the zoom in and zoom out option to change the scale that I'm looking at my portfolio. So I'm going to zoom in, and now you can start to see that each month is getting broken down into weeks. Zoom in even further, we're getting a much closer detailed view of our portfolio. Zoom in even further, now you can see on a week by week basis, even on a day by day basis, how this portfolio is going to shake out in terms of its schedule. And then we can reverse it, obviously, by using zoom out. And you can zoom out into a quarterly view and just keep zooming out depending on how big your portfolio is. And then to go back to where we were, just zoom to fit and it'll give us that nice view. I'll even zoom it in one more. There we go. So that's the timeline view up here at the top. The next item are the plans inside of your portfolio. So obviously, as Deb mentioned, each item, so a portfolio, a program, a project, an epic, in OnePlan, these are all referred to as plans. And these plans are all represented inside of the Gantt chart as these bars that you can see. And the color of the bars directly represent the status of this plan, right? So green represents on track, red representing off track, and yellow representing at risk. So now you can see you're able to look at your portfolio and all of the plans inside of it and get a really quick overview of the status of these plans, and then again, that time phase view. If you hover over each bar, you're actually able to see a little bit of brief information about these projects. You'll see it highlights the row inside of the portfolio view, as well as the bar actually gives you start and date, duration, and the percent complete. All right. The next item then are the dependencies. So this is a big important piece that the Gantt chart gives you great insight into. So dependencies are the relationships between your different plans, and represents the order in which these plans must be completed in order for the subsequent plan to start. So these dependencies are represented by, and it's a little bit hard to see, these gray lines. So you can follow these lines and you can follow the relationships between the dependencies. And then if you hover, or the relationship between the plans. And then if you hover over the line, you can actually see the relationship that's being represented by this line. So you can see here, the data warehouse migration plan is a predecessor to the server upgrades plan. And you can follow that line, and it's all the way over here. There it is. So you can follow that line and you can see that dependency. So the Gantt chart gives you, again, that time phase view of your portfolio, but then it also includes those dependencies. So you can see if you're going to run into any bottlenecks, any circular logic. If one of your plans like this is getting let's see, predictive maintenance is off track, but it actually has a dependency here in the improved user experience plan, we're going to probably run into problems because this plan is off track and it's like starting way later than it should have. And so we're going to run into issues with this user experience plan because it's dependent on the predictive maintenance plan. So you can start to see any of those potential risks or issues here in the Gantt chart. Next up are the milestones, which are represented by these little diamonds. So these are representing significant events or achievements within your plans, like the completion of a major project, achievement of a specific goal. Here you can see it's the completion of specific phases within this project. So we have like integration testing complete for this improved user experience project, or we have release 1 here for this new customer support portal. So these diamonds are representing these really significant events that are occurring in your portfolio, again, helping you identify if there's going to be any issues that will occur as your schedule kind of shifts as priorities change with your portfolio. So again, this Portfolio Gantt provides a comprehensive high-level overview of all of the projects epics, portfolios, programs within your OnePlan environment. It helps you understand progress, right, with the color coding of the bars of each project, making it easy to identify trends, as well as viewing those interdependencies between the different projects in your portfolio. Alongside the Gantt chart, you're actually also able to open up a preview of the global resource plan. So you're able to take a look at resource allocations alongside your Gantt chart, as well as a preview of the plan financials. So you're able to identify if there's any potential resource allocation constraints or financial constraints that may occur for your different projects within your portfolio. This collective view of plan information with your schedule view up here at the top, and then either your resource or financial information here at the bottom, helps you prioritize projects and make data-driven decisions regarding project initiation, scheduling, and resource allocations. And then finally, the Portfolio Gantt chart, you can see, is a great visual tool that simplifies communication with your stakeholders and team members. It can serve as a central document or a common language to facilitate discussions, alignments, and decision-making. So like I was showing you before, the Gantt chart aligns with your portfolio list, that big list of information, but you're able to visualize it in these bars with the Gantt chart, making it easy for you and your team to take a look at the schedule, identify any potential bottlenecks or risks, and be able to take action on those identified risks. And then again, rather than looking at that large grid of information, which I'll pull this back and show you again, a lot of data, you're able to look at this nice visual graph and be able to digest this information in a much easier way and communicate with your team members and stakeholders in a much more concise manner than going through that giant grid of information. So in sum, the Portfolio Gantt is a powerful tool that provides valuable insights into overall health and performance of your portfolio. It enables you to make informed decisions, mitigate risks, and communicate effectively with your stakeholders. And with that, I'm going to pass this over to Deb to talk about the portfolio boards.
Thanks, Tina. Yeah, now I'm going to talk to you about how you can employ boards for a more visual and collaborative portfolio management experience. So as you can see here, the OnePlan portfolio board is definitely a visual tool. You saw the Gantt as well, but this is another visual tool used to track and help you manage the progress of the plans within the portfolio. It includes a series of columns and or lanes that represent the different stages of the plan life cycle, and it can be used to display the information about each plan. And you can see here, you can see such as the name of the plan, the owner of the plan, the status, budget, and more. This is configurable. Regardless of the type of portfolio board that you're using, usually the goal for any type of board like this is to give you and your stakeholders a clear and visual representation of portfolio progress and overarching status that can help the managers and other stakeholders identify any potential issues or delays. These boards are often used with other project management tools and techniques like agile methodologies, as you may already know. Earned value analysis is another one that can help further manage and optimize a portfolio. But now we're going to continue to look at some of this out of the box configuration of the portfolio board to illustrate what you can see and what's feasible. The board view, as I mentioned, is customizable. So, but it's kind of cool to see what the examples are of what is possible to get that visual representation. So what we want to do is we're going to change the board view to state. It's already there. And this way you can kind of see what the state is, where state equals the proposed, active, closed, on hold. And we have a backlog out of the box, but it's, nothing's in there right now because I guess there is no backlog. Note that there's budget constraints. See the red? There's budget constraints that have been set. We'll show you how to do that And those are based on the budget, as I mentioned. Now I'm going to change, or Tina's going to change. We're going to change the board to business unit. And this now gives you a slightly different board view. This is a business unit centric board. And it's going to start emphasizing the plan dependencies. In this example, each column represents one of the business units that is part of this organization: applications, capital planning, IT, marketing, etc. At the top of each column, you can see the budget total rolled up of all the items that are within each column. So the total budget, for example, in applications is 1.3 million and some change, and IT, it's 3.6 something. But each card in the columns are going to represent an epic or a project because of the way this is configured inside of this portfolio. The status, the out-of-the-box statuses that you see, green is equal to on track, yellow is equal to at risk, and red is equal to off track here. The cards also display some really great general information, summary information about the project or epic, including benefits, that is financially, calculated, budget, business unit, prioritization scores that have been identified through some of the ways that this has been configured. At the bottom of each card, another kind of set of cool features, there's a bar at the bottom that displays the project or overall epic percent done. So hovering the mice, there's multiple mouses here. The mouse, it's 11% done overall. How many days has the project been in a particular stage? Here you see that this one is over 200 days. There's a color-coded dot to the right. It represents the project or the state. So out of the box, and this is configurable, light gray is proposed, blue is active, yellow is on hold, and dark gray is equal to closed. Finally, there's also a little speech bubble. Do you see the little bubble there? And you can click on this icon and you can enter a comment directly into the board for a project or an epic. Let's just see now, we want to show the dependencies. So Tina clicked on that dependencies icon in the menu bar. You can start seeing now how the lines connect the different cards, and each of these cards on the board where these lines are, where you're seeing the lines, they represent dependencies between various projects and epics. The direction makes a difference because it shows the direction of the successor-predecessor relationship between these projects and epics. The lines color, so the arrow points to the predecessor, by the way. And the lines color, it represents the relationship's method. So the blue lines represent a regular dependency relationship. And if you saw a red line here, we don't have that. That would actually show you a potential blocker relationship. So that's a great visual cue for you to be able to make sure you pay attention to. Again, all of these settings will continue to repeat this. These are configurable, so you can have my portfolio personalized, as well as the portfolio board in a way that works best for you. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about customizing the board. We've walked through the example portfolio board config. Let's dive into how you can configure it for your own personal use, right? Get used to how you like to work with it. All of the configuration settings that we're going to walk through are in the board header, that menu bar. So first we're going to talk about a column. This lets me select the plan field I want to use for the columns in the board. For example, we'll click on the column menu and select goals from the drop down. Now the goals plan field is going to be used for how I see the columns in the board. Lanes, right now it's defaulted to none, but it lets me select the plan field that I want to use for the lanes in the board. So let's just say now I want to see program. And so we select program, and now the board has the swim lanes to group the cards by the program that they belong to. Color by. That lets me select the plan field that I want to use the color code and how to use the color code of the cards on the board. So for example, I will click on the color by menu and select overall health. Now the cards on the board are going to be color coded by the project or epic stage within overall health. Totals, that lets me select the plan field I want to use as the column totals. In this example, we're going to click on the totals menu, select benefits from the dropdown. And so now the column total value is a sum of the benefits value of all the projects and epics. So you can continue to see how even the plan type, it can, we've selected the plan types as projects and epics. That means the cards on the board represents the project or epics from my portfolio of work. Filter helps me select plan fields to use as filters. So let's just say I want to set the filter to the status field where the status shows on track. So now the cards that I see are going to show me all of the plans or epics where the status shows on track. You can zoom in and out. You can set the zoom to small, set to large. So you can start seeing kind of a broader map or smaller, depending on how you want to zoom in and out. Constraints are also useful if I want to set values in the cards to run and show me the plans or epics based on, maybe in this case, it's going to be a budget constraint.
Benefits constraint.
Benefits constraint, I'm sorry.
Yep. It's based on the total fields. Totals field we selected.
That's right. I lost my train of thought. So in here, you can determine what that threshold is. So if customer satisfaction, for example, is below a certain threshold, and we can put that in terms of dollars, right? And we click save, you can start to see how we can start to monitor and monetize some of these constraints to help us kind of help determine where we need to attend to and which things are actually returning benefits to us where maybe we're falling behind. Okay, so we've customized the board. We can show, and once we find and we do that save, as Tina's demonstrating, we can compare it to the other constraint value that we've noted. All right. Okay, so I think we did the fields. Dependencies will help me turn the dependencies visualization on and off. So you can start to get that visual as well. So I or you can start looking at those dependencies across the board. If I want to go by using the board dependencies in OnePlan, you can see how you can achieve that better visibility into your project's overall progress. You can identify visually the bottlenecks to help you identify and ensure the smooth flow of work across the entire board and teams, and that can help significantly improve cross organization, business unit collaboration, resource allocation, the ability to deliver projects across the portfolio on time and within budget. Now I'm going to quickly we're going to show you how you can actually save a board view because maybe you get this configured to your liking and you don't want to keep coming in and having to recreate it. So on the boards menu, you can see at the drop-down menu, you can save the board. And we'll call this one Tech Tuesday board. If you're in admin, by the way, you're going to see personal view and default view. If you're an end user, you'll see the personal view only. If you want everybody, if you're an admin, you would select the default view. If you want everybody to have access to this, if you only want to see it for you, you would select that personal view. Now I'm going to turn it over to you, Tina, to demonstrate how you can use the OnePlan portfolio to develop clear and impactful portfolio roadmaps.
Awesome, thanks, Deb. All right, so we're gonna move over then to this next tab, the roadmap tab. Let it load up here, and I'll kind of dive in now. So you can think of a portfolio roadmap as a strategic blueprint that outlines the overarching vision, goals, and initiatives of your organization's project portfolio over a defined period. It's like a map that guides you through the landscape of your projects, helping you navigate towards your organization's strategic objectives. So OnePlan's roadmap is a modern interactive visualization tool that allows you to build out roadmap timelines of the plans in your portfolio. From the roadmap view, you can view the relationships between the plans in your portfolio, create and rearrange new plans, and create key event markers in the timeline that may impact your portfolio planning. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do all of those. First, let's take a look at some of the out-of-the-box views to kind of explore the roadmap's functionality. So right now we're looking at a roadmap view out of the box that shows you, that groups your plans by business unit. You can see that up here in the corner, and the view menu says roadmap business unit. And then you can see here along the left side that each of these swim lanes is a business unit. So we have the applications, IT, marketing, and then within each of these swim lanes, again, much like the Gantt chart, each of these bars represents a project or epic within your portfolio. And again, the color coding is by status. So again, you have on track, at risk, or off track. This is very similar to the out of the box Gantt chart, but this has a lot more functionality than the Gantt chart does. Next, let's flip over. Maybe you want to take a look at this portfolio roadmap in terms of aligning to corporate objectives. So we're going to flip over to this roadmap goals view. And so what this is going to do is change that grouping from business unit to goals. So each of these projects then will align to a specific business or organization goal in OnePlan. So now you can see how these different projects are lining up to help you meet your different goals. Again, over here on the left-hand side, you can see each of these swim lanes is a goal for this organization. And then inside of each of those, you have your projects that are associated with those goals. So now working with this grid here, working with the roadmap, let's take a look at how you can interact with the plans in this view. First, you can see as I hover over these blank spaces, you can see the different dates, and this will come into play when we start to create different plans within the roadmap. But this is just a general piece of information. When you hover, you get this tooltip that shows you the date that you're hovering over. When you hover over a bar, much like the Gantt chart and much like the board and everything else in the portfolio, it gives you a tooltip that gives you more information about that specific plan, including the name, start and end dates, the goal that it's associated to, its status, and then it gives you this note here that the estimated plan dates are based off of the work plan schedule. And this means that this plan already has a work plan schedule full of tasks and things like that. So its dates, its scheduling is based off of the tasks inside of that plan. That'll come into play in just a second. If you right click on one of these bars, you're actually able to access the contextual menu for that plan. So you can quickly access the quick edit menu, which gives you even more information about this plan. You can dive right into making comments, viewing dependencies, or you can go right to that plan's financial plan, resource plan, or work plan schedule right from this roadmap view using this contextual menu. Again, you just right click on the bar. So those are the basics with interacting with the plans in this view. Again, much like the Gantt view, you can also visualize the dependencies between these different plans in your portfolio, again, with these little gray bars here. And then if you hover over the bars, again, just like the Gantt view, you can see how this relationship works. So it's going from data warehouse migration to iOS apps for Metro Transit Authority. And again, that gives you a view into how this work is stacking up and if there's going to be any roadblockers or things like that based on these dependencies. So we were looking at the out of the box views. Maybe there's some specific views that you want to look at. And again, much like the board, the customization of the roadmap is almost exactly the same. So first you can group by. So those will be your swim lanes over here. You can decide how you want to group these plans. Right now we're grouping by goals, but maybe we want to group by something like priority. You can go ahead and change that. And then you can see how the roadmap changes based off of your selection. Again, we can select how maybe we want the color coding of the bars to work. Right now we're looking at status. Maybe we want to change this to strategic alignment. Now you can see that the colors change based off of my selection. Let's see, next up, you can apply filters to your roadmap just like the boards. So maybe I want to only look at, just like we did in the boards, I only want to look at projects with a status of on track. So then that narrows down my roadmap and really hones in on the ones that I want to be looking at. And again, now you can see with the filter applied, it's going to be highlighted up here in blue. Because this is a time phase view, you can, much like the Gantt, you can control what you're looking at in terms of a date range. So you can look at maybe next year, the next 5 years, or you can set a custom range if you want to. So let's just say in 2024, excuse me, you can set a custom view here. Maybe I want next year. Maybe I want this year. So you have a lot of control over the date range that you're looking at in this roadmap view. And finally, just like the boards, you can also select the plan types that are going to be displayed here. So maybe I want to include programs into this view. I can go ahead and add them. I can remove them just so I'm looking at projects and epics. So you have a lot of control over what's in your roadmap view. And then once you're happy with this view, you save it just like you did with the board view. You go over to this view menu here, click save, give it a name. We'll call this Tech Tuesday Roadmap. And I'll save that. I'll give it a minute. So now I can always come back and reuse this board view. It'll be available from this dropdown here. So the final things we're going to talk about in terms of the roadmap are adding additional plans. So maybe now that I have this view, I want to start adding additional plans to meet these different goals, or maybe we have different plans and these different priorities. To create plans in the roadmap view, there's a couple ways you can do that. This is where that date, hovering over and seeing the date comes into play. I can right-click right directly in the roadmap and click Add New Plan. I can make a project. I could select the portfolios it belongs to and the programs, and I'll give it a name. And we'll call it Tech Tuesday 1, and we'll add the plan. And then you'll see it created a plan. And now I can start to drag and drop, rearranging the dates and how long this plan is going to take. I can even move it to schedule it out here in my portfolio. So this is a fully interactive board. Another way you can create plans then is to simply drag and drop, and it'll create that bar for you. And then you just go through the same process. You select the plan type, you select the parent, you select the portfolio, and we'll call this Tech Tuesday 2. Add the plan. Give it a minute, and there you go. Now we have our next plan. And again, just like before, you can drag and drop to resize how the duration of this plan. And now I can start adding tasks and actually working with it as a real plan. And the final way is you can just use this plus button up here to add a project. And this is a lot like adding plans in your actual portfolio. So we're going to keep moving forward there since that's pretty much parodied throughout. The next item then is creating events. So in your roadmap, kind of like milestones, but a bit bigger, you're able to create events. So in the roadmap, events are timeline markers that allow you to easily bring attention to special dates like milestones, release dates, program increments, etc. And then when you save this view, so we have our Tech Tuesday view, when you save it again, it's going to save those events for you for later use. So let's say like in May, what is it, 15th and 16th? If I right click, I can add an event, and we have an admin boot camp that we're going to be hosting, and it starts on the 15th, ends on not June. It's just a 2-day event. We'll save that, and now you can see we have an event here. So now we can start to take that into consideration. It highlights that event for us, so we know that this is something that we're working towards. So as we're starting to build out our schedule, we can start to rearrange our portfolio to try to meet this goal date here, this event here. So again, you saw right click. You can also drag and drop just like with the plans as well. So then again, like I was showing you, you can rearrange and drag and drop and drag to resize your plans for their durations. But a very important note that I need to make clear is that you can only do that with plans that have no tasks associated with them. Otherwise, it's going to just stay in place. So you can see these bars here have this little Gantt icon, and that means that they have tasks associated with them, and we're not able to interact with them in the roadmap view. You actually have to go into the work plan schedule and change that schedule for this view to change. But these ones that don't have any tasks in them, I'm able to do whatever I want with them. And then again, I showed you how to save a view, so I'm going to go ahead and save over this view. Excuse me.
And just real quick, we are getting to the top of the hour. We invite you to stay so we can to stay through the entire content. If you cannot stay, we will make a recording available. We probably have about another 10 minutes or so.
All right. Cool. So that brings us to the end of the roadmap section, though. So roadmap's a very powerful tool for you to use to visualize your portfolios and have a lot more interaction with it than the Gantt view itself. So our next item then are the Power BI dashboards. So OnePlan has a robust Power BI report pack available out of the box. We're going to take a look at some of those report packs and see, explore how they can help you better manage your portfolio. So I'll start this. Making decisions is nearly impossible without a complete view of all the work that is currently in play. And in today's world, leaders must be able to shift quickly with confidence and stay ahead of competition. So OnePlan provides real-time visibility into every aspect of work so you can make proactive decisions that will protect your investments and help you deliver on time, on budget, and within the quality standards your customers deserve. So you can leverage OnePlan's reporting dashboards to gain insights into that data that means the most to you. So let's take a look at some of these out-of-the-box reports. First, we're going to hop into the, where is it? Portfolio, what am I looking for? Portfolio summary, there we go. So the portfolio summary is going to give you a holistic view of your portfolio. This report page shows you your portfolio budget, benefits, ROI. You can filter to dive into maybe your different goals. Maybe I just want to see data that's related to growing the business. You can use these slicers to narrow down your data in Power BI, but this gives you a great overview of your portfolio. Next, we can hop into the financial summary for where you can dive into the monetary aspects of your portfolio. This report page compares planned and actual costs, and then you can view which projects have their forecast over budget and actual budget over spend. You can filter by your portfolios, programs, plan types, and really narrow in on that financial data of your portfolio. Maybe you want to take a look and get a pulse check on the risk landscape of your portfolio using this risk summary view. This risk summary report page shows you project risks broken out by impact and probability. And then you can, again, filter data by your portfolio or program to really narrow down the information that you're looking at. And finally, we have our final view that we're going to take a look at is the health trend view. So the health trend view will give you insights into the well-being trajectory of your portfolio. As you can see here with these trends, you can see effort health, issue health, financial health, the overall state of your portfolio, and so on. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Deb to talk about Sofia.
We're going to start getting you all across the finish line. So what we're going to walk you through now is how you can harness the power of AI using Sofia GPT, the OnePlan virtual assistant, to help you kind of with this portfolio planning. So Sofia GPT for portfolio planning, it's going to offer, and across OnePlan, by the way, it offers a powerful set of AI capabilities to help you optimize your project portfolio. So this will help you answer the question of, can you get internal data to have Sofia answer a question as well? And the answer is yes. So whichever role you're in OnePlan, you can use Sofia GPT to help you streamline the portfolio planning, enhance the team productivity, as well as achieve your strategic objectives. So Sofia, what is Sofia GPT? It is an advanced Azure OpenAI GPT module that was developed by OnePlan to help you understand and revolutionize the way individuals like you and businesses manage strategic portfolios, resources, investments, and work. So this is powered by state-of-the-art AI algorithms, and it can understand natural language. We showed you a little bit earlier, and respond in real time. So let's see how this can become an invaluable asset for you as you're working in my portfolio. Okay, so let's ask Sofia to rank the plans by the highest risk of failure and explain why. So you can see that now Sofia is doing the assessment of all of that internal data that's inside of this OnePlan group. And it will, once it captures and does that initial assessment, it can go through all of this data faster than we can, right? So it leaves us with the opportunity to review the analysis and determine any additional observations or conclusions or things that we have to action as a way to be nimble and be able to be responsive to how changes occur inside of the organization and around us environmentally. So you can see how it can help you identify these things so you can take the corrective action. And that means that, again, instead of you having to do that analysis, Sofia GPT is able to take those large volumes of data, find the patterns, return it in, and turn that into the information that helps you assess, recommend, and make those decisions more quickly. Now I'm going to, so that really takes us through everything we wanted to show you about OnePlan My Portfolio and how you can get started with it. So now we're going to just kind of do a quick wrap up for you.
Awesome. All right. So throughout today's webinar, we explored the intricacies of the OnePlan portfolio planning module and its pivotal role in supporting organizations' portfolio project management strategies and initiatives. We emphasize how this module aligns seamlessly with the standards set forth by the Project Management Institute for Portfolio Project Management. By leveraging the capabilities of the OnePlan portfolio planning module, you gain invaluable insights into optimizing your portfolio management practices. So we demonstrated step-by-step how to utilize the OnePlan portfolio module to create and organize portfolios. So we explored techniques for creating and organizing portfolios using element-neutral approaches and flexible work hierarchies to ensure alignment with your organizational goals and objectives. Then we took a look at how you can track progress and key milestones using the Portfolio Gantt feature, where we illustrated how that Portfolio Gantt gives you a great visual overview of progress and key milestones within your portfolio, allowing you to efficiently monitor and make decisions based off of that view. We also took a look at how you can use portfolio boards for visual and collaborative portfolio management, where we showcased how to enhance the portfolio management experience with visual collaborative tools, facilitating better communication and coordination among team members. But wait, there's more. We also took a look at how you can develop portfolio roadmaps using OnePlan's road mapping tool, where we provided insights into developing clear and impactful portfolio roadmaps, enabling stakeholders to gain a comprehensive understanding of portfolio objectives, timelines, and dependencies. We showed you how you can leverage OnePlan's robust Power BI reports, where you can to drive data-driven insights and empower informed decision-making and strategic planning. And we finished up today with how you can augment the portfolio module using Sofia GPT, where we highlighted the integration of AI technology through Sofia, this is, the virtual assistant. By harnessing the power of AI, you can streamline the portfolio planning process, access valuable assistance in navigating complex terminology and concepts such as strategic portfolio management and portfolio project management. By incorporating these features and functionalities into your portfolio management approach, you're equipped to drive greater efficiency, transparency, and alignment across your organization's projects and initiatives. The OnePlan portfolio module serves as a comprehensive solution to meet diverse needs of modern portfolio managers, enabling you to adapt to evolving challenges and seize opportunities with confidence.
As you start your journey with OnePlan, remember to you can leverage a lot of tools and resources to help you optimize your portfolio management endeavors, and that can help you drive tangible results for your organization. Please be sure to check out these resources that are on the slide here for self-paced and on-demand learning opportunities. You can access OnePlan Academy, the digital learning management system. You can go to OnePlan support. And then just to announce that our next Tech Tuesday is going to be on April 9th, and the topic is going to be Introduction to Project Management with OnePlan's Work module. Another reminder, we recorded today's webinar, and that recording will be made available afterward on our support portal and OnePlan Academy. Questions that were asked throughout today's session and that we didn't respond to directly will be reviewed, and we will follow up with you with responses. We hope today's webinar equipped you with some practical insights and strategies to elevate your portfolio management practices. Thanks so much for your participation and for your patience. We went a little bit over, but we look forward to continuing to accompany you on your portfolio management journey.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. We hope you have a great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are.
Wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.